Welcome to Turn Right Machine Works. My name is Keith, and today we're going ahead and we're starting a new bling job. And this is another rod holder. This rod holder is only going to be 4 gangs, so it's going to be two in one position, 2 in another position, because we're trying to create a close-knit holding of 4 130 fishing rods, which is tuna gear. And he wants to hold them in tight behind the house above the fish well so that the ocean spray, as you're traveling out to the fishing grounds or coming back, the rods are out of the direct spray of salt water, which is, you know, it's a good practice. These are the holders here, and these will be, alright, and these are going to locate on the 1-inch round, and they're already scoped out. That's the way you can buy them. And so it will be, this is kind of like the last thing that will be coming into play. But one of the first things that actually has to happen is we're going to have two bars here to hold our verticals or our uprights, and that's what this is. We have one that's right at 7 foot and one that's slightly a little bit more. And we're going to be taking those down, and those they go vertically on each side of the fish well. Now the deck is crowned, and also the overhead is crowned as well, and also has a little bit of a slope back. I forget if it pitches up or pitches down, and we'll be checking that out as well. So we don't know if we're going to actually have to make a movable or adjustable flange at the top that's going to mount up there. The first thing that we're doing is we're going ahead and we're boring out the center of a couple of these so that they can slip over. I have a sample piece of our diameter, so you always have to have, you know, short pieces around to do all your check fits. And I'm going to use this to check the bore and also check the radius that we're going to be cutting. We're going to be cutting the matching radius for this pipe on each side of here so that we hold that spread exactly what we had planned on it. And it's about center line 42 inches. It's not really that important. That's what I am going to be making it. Alright, we took our jaws off so we can get up here close, and also we don't have jaws sticking way out past our part. Because all we really want to do is just basically hold this flat against the chuck, lightly hold it, or hold it enough to where we can spin it and we can run a drill in through there. Alright, so we bring in the drill here. And basically we're just trying to, the opening we're going to create is for the pipe, so it's 1/900 basically on the diameter, and this is just an 1 3/4 drill, but it gets us out there pretty easy. And we're just using a little bit of Lumitap so we don't have any grabbing. Because this material can become gummy. Okay, now we just get that out of the way. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to set up a little boring bar here. And I do like this little high-speed unit here. High-speed steel is what I was meaning. And we can bring it on in here. So we can do a little face and a little bore with this at the same time. Alright, we can increase our speed now. That still had a little residue of the Lumitap on it, that's why I didn't add any more. Just when I think it's getting dry, I add some more. And we're at 1 inch 770, so we have about 130 to go. And we're at 875. It's about 12 and a half or so. Now we can go ahead and we got our test piece and we can test fit here. Okay, I like where it goes on like that because you know you're gonna have somewhat of capability of putting it in and out, but you're also it's gonna hold it pretty well. It's not gonna rattle around, and you're gonna be pretty close on alignment. I like that. Now we're gonna be putting a wall all the way around here. Now, you know, we know that that's going to be, that's going to be a well bead that kind of looks like that right there. So that width right there, 3/16 to about 200 or so, we can actually face some of that anodized right off the top of there, and that'll give us a really good material without having to fight the anodize on that surface there. We'll only be fighting it on the pipe itself. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to lightly touch that and come out a couple hundred thousandths. Alright, we come on over here, we touch the face, we come on in. We're taking about 10. Come on, 200,000. Alright, now we got a good clean bare metal and we can fill that in and our wall will flow in a lot nicer at that point right there, so it'll be a little easier instead of fighting that anodized surface right there. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to put the next one in here. We've already drilled it. We've already drilled it, but we're going to go ahead and bore it now. I don't know what it is. That looks better. Had a funny look to it. I know, funny. Alright, now we're going to touch it again. Taking only about 8,000 or so. We did everything by our other measurements. Let's see if we still got that same fit. Alright, we got that same fit. I like that. Alright, let's go over and put our scallops in the other two pieces of pipe that we're going to need. And we're just going to take a regular burr and just knock that burr right there right off. And we'll wipe it down with a rag. We'll clean these all with acetone as we get ready to weld them and tack them together. Alright, let's, I've got this clamped down, but I'm going to bring this out again. To keep this stuff from getting scratched in the vise, we like using oil paper to clamp it right in the vise, and we just cut a piece so that we're holding it there. We're going to let this stick out, just bare minimum for doing the machine work. Now I have a piece of wood here, and I just kind of use that so that I can lay it down flat. There's two Fresh Street 4x4s underneath here. We're within the realm of reason that we are going to go ahead and scallop this in for this pipe in the center. Alright, so we're holding it there, we're holding it here without scratching, and we're going to come on down here and we're going to go ahead and touch off with our wiggler, and boots to the side. We go ahead and we set 0 on our readout, and I'll show you the readout in a second here. I know I never do, but okay, there's 2. We're going to touch it again. I think we were a little zealous. Okay, 0 again. Okay, my readout is nothing fancy. In fact, I got it on sale. It was like $899 or something like that about 6 years ago. Alright, so we got 0 there. Now we're going to crank in half of our wiggler, which is 250. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to call that 0 or center line with the edge there. Now we're going to come over halfway of our material, and we're at 1 inch 312, and I believe that's 656. Let's just punch that in just to make sure so that. Okay, 656 and 2/10. Alright, and now we'll go on back down to the part there, and we're going to set up the tool. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull our chuck wrench, or chuck out of here, but we're going to leave the 3/4 inch collet in here. Alright. Now we got this fits in our Chandler boring head. It came with it when we bought it, and we're going to use this to hold our cutter to cut that radius in there. Now we need to sweep that radius. Alright, so basically what we're doing is we're going to spin a tool bit hanging out that's going to resemble that diameter there on this part here. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get this located in here, and then I'll show you how I set that up so that. Alright, that part right there is 1.900. And we're going to subtract 5/8, which is that diameter. That comes up to 1,275 divided by 2 equals 637. So if we hang this part out 637, I like this long nose radius right here. Now this tool bit right here, I'm going to have to go find another tool bit there. Well, that looks pretty good. Let me get an Allen wrench. There's like 650. We can put this back in. Okay. My only concern was whether I was grabbing enough of it or not. Alright. Alright. I like that now. It's worth a try. Alright, so we're going to crank up the table. Okay, we're going to push the button up the table. Alright, and alright, now that we've got our cutter set up here, we want to make sure we're going in the right direction, and we are. And that's a pretty good speed right there. We kind of clear out everything else that's in here. We double check our tension. Alright, now as I'm coming in, I'm just coming in to get the feel of where this is going to start making the first contact with the end of the pipe here. Okay, and then I come on down, come all the way down. Alright, now the cut is slightly offset there, but that doesn't matter because we're going to go in until we get good clean surface all the way around. Now I'm going to just I'm going to be staring at my dial or my indicator up there, or my readout. So I'm going to feed the table in about 50 thousandths per pass there. Not really being exact. This is actually 67. Okay, come on down. All right, then back up. Now I went over and got just a little bit of Lumatap here, and I put it in a can just like I do the other things there. And I just give it a light brush on each side there. And I learned also, if you're using fluids, go ahead and put a rag down here just so that Lumatap does funny things to your table metals and stuff like that sometimes. If you don't get them cleaned up right away. So it's like cutting with a fly cutter. And you can see your line here with that bore, and the same thing over here, and that width, and it looks like you're right on the money or pretty close to center. Sometimes you can pick to leave that a little flat, because when you come around with your heliarc, you're going to be walling it, and sometimes when it comes to a razor thin area, it burns back up with you, real quick versus the other materials there. But when you do some sanding and prepping on the end, you pretty much do a rounding of the whole area anyway, so you kind of blend it on in. And this looks equal to there, so you're just not by eyeball, we're verifying. This is almost 226 from the time that we started. Okay, so it's about 4 or 5 passes to go ahead and get that radius. Now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and test that radius, and of course my part is too long to just stick in there real quick. So we're going to go find or cut off a little short piece here so we can hold it in there just to test that. All right, we're just gonna move the table back. All right, we're happy with that. That's good. Okay, we're going to do the first side on the other one as well. We're going to go ahead and deburr this end here, and then we're going to turn it around, and I'm going to show you how we line up the other end with this end here. Alright, we've got both of them done now, and both of them deburred, and we got, I like this little, this is a engineer's little half-inch wide. Gets in, it's pretty close in the bottom there. But it gives you out here, and we're going to go, let's see, 42 center minus 1.9 would be 40 and 100. So we can put a nice little scribe mark right there. Alright, we know that that's going to be the depth of the radius right there. So we're going to go ahead and about 1/4 inch out from that line, we're going to go ahead and recut it with a bandsaw so we're not removing a whole bunch of material in the middle here. And we'll get it turned around and set up. But that's how we're going to use, that's how we're going to set those lengths there. And we'll mark both of these and then start the next cut. I'll show you how I go ahead and take and match the radiuses in line with each other. Okay, we got this cut off the length, and we lightly put this in the vise so that we can twist it side to side. Then we go ahead and we put this right in here, and we can eyeball it real close. And then when we want to, we can put our level on here and really read exactly where it's at and make a minor adjustment. We almost had it perfect, and then we wanted to get it just a little bit off. And all right, we like that. Okay, we double check it. Pretty good within the line there. We're good now. Now we're going to go ahead and we rotate this around and we make sure that we're not going to lob off a big giant chunk, so we can touch off. Now basically what we got to do is come into that scribe line, and we can also, once we start taking a cut, we can put our measurement on here and we can actually set our readout to 0, and we can actually crank in exactly what we need to create that radius. So go ahead and touch off here. Okay, now we'll go ahead and we'll put the scale on here. It looks like we're about almost exactly 200 thousandths off of there. All right, and we're reading like 7. So, all right, there's 0. Okay, it just looks like about 20 more to go. Okay, we clamped this up in the vise here so that we can hold it, and we can hold it square. The vise is square, so we can rotate this till we get this angle so that it's square. The angle of the dangle is square, because we're going to set up this 4-hole flange on the end right here. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab our stair V block out of the cupboard here, and Okay, we got that. Now we want to go ahead and wipe off the bluing here. Alright, so we can prep it for weld here. Now we know that we had a 1/4 inch clearance on the top of this one here, and we're wiping off the flange as well. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to put that pattern straight up and down this way here in relationship to our V block here, and we're going to set this on here very gently with 1/8 of an inch, because we're going to split the difference there. A little bit more. There we go. Alright, now we can go ahead and C-clamp that on here. And we want to rotate this so that these are square, basically straight up and down, within reason. Okay, I think I'm happy with that there. Okay, now we just want to go ahead and we want to put a tack at the top and bottom, and that's going to give us the freedom to twist that for the crown the way we have it set up here. Sounds like a lot of gas in there, but I got that set for almost 332, and I'm using I got 1/8 inch tungsten in here right now. So okay, we'll just put a couple tacks in here. Okay, we're all clamped in here, and this bar here is the one that we just located down on the boat, and we have the rod holders angles kind of located. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to dress off, and we're going to put a couple tacks on each end of here that's going to actually hold these two uprights together in line and parallel and square, all that good stuff. And we're going to go ahead and mount 2 of the holders on here, and then we're going to go down for the final fit, and we'll be able to set this bar in its location and the other 2 holders in their location. Now what I'm doing here is I just have a small rotary burr, and I'm just taking a little bit of the anodized surface off around. It makes it a lot easier if you're going to do quick tacks. You don't have to nearly get it as hot, and you can keep your little tack pretty small. Alright, that's enough to get a good tack here and there. Alright, we just moved this up. The last thing we got to check is make sure that this center rail is square with our 2 verticals, and we confirm that it's square both directions there. And I believe we're good to go right now. Now we're only going to be tacking it at the 2 center sections there so that we can have a little bit of motion or movement to play with, and this thing will have slight bit of flex in it as need be to fit in there, but we want it to be right close to it. phone rings one more time. A little trick right there is when you're clamping onto your aluminum brightwork, use a piece of your paper and cover the top side so you don't put arc outs on your components.